Say Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yoshai, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yoshai, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yoshai. First and foremost, we want to give our praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who were that great millstone, and a blessed sanitation to the Akiams and the folk and the earth to push the gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom. Come down, lesson 35, the church Yahushai, the 144,000 and the 1/3, men, women, and children. Confusion of faith Israelites are scattered among the heathen nation, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indian. You are God's chosen people, right? Just want to do a little quick lesson. 35 younger brother like myself. You got jigs that you grew up with, you went to school with, you grew up in the same neighborhood. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua wake up to the fact knowing that you're Israelite, and reveal the mysteries to you. You all excited, and you're going to show your childhood brethren that you grew up with, we went to school with, and you see the level of ignorance that they in, and how prideful they is. You understand? And the scripture make it plain out to deal with these imbecile, right? Like one of them I grew up with, he would ask me if I believe in genealogy. So I say your question not irrelevant, because I know and understand that the man carry the X and Y chromosome, which is synonymous to DNA, right? And the genetics, right? They said the genetics makeup of a specific individual. So I have the man is determined the gender of a child, if the child can be a male or a female, and you carry your father, you make up of your father genetics, right? You carry your father DNA. You from your father, or from your father's seed pack. So the question was irrelevant, and that's why the scriptures say in Titus 3, right? We get it in Titus 3. You understand? They are reprobates. You understand? They are reprobates. Because I make mention about King James being a so-called black man. And the empty vessel. That's why I have this image on the screen. All the empty barrel make the most noise. Because that's who they is. They are empty and they make a lot of noise. He said that he could prove that King James is a white man by DNA, which is a lie. Men with wisdom know that King James is a so-called black man according to facts, right? I even asked if they ever hear the word iconoclasm. Up now they didn't answer me. But it's a waste of time dealing with these reprobates. As a pastor I say, hey, if a nigga can't get it, leave him alone, right? And definitely they can't get it. They can't, right? They're gonna die in the ignorance, right? This is Titus chapter 3, verse 9. He said, but avoid foolish question and genealogy. Yeah, avoid foolish question and genealogy. You understand? But I still give you intel or an insight saying, yes, I understand and know that the man carry the X and Y chromosome, which is synonymous to DNA, right? But the dumb nigga, because that's who he is, he dumb and he full of pride. Pride go before destruction. He gonna be destroyed. You want me to give you a yes or no answer, because I know where they're gonna lead to. It gonna lead to foolishness, as the scripture say, right? Titus chapter 3 verse 9. But avoid foolish question and genealogy and contention and striving about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. Yet unprofitable and vain. It's not gonna bring no edifying. You understand? Especially with a reprobate, who think he black. There's total darkness. Who think he's an African, when the name Africa comes from is of a man, right? A Roman general, Scipiano Africanus, right? So they are empty, right? They are empty, right? We get next one. This is second Timothy chapter 2 verse 23, he said, but foolish and unlearned question avoid, knowing that they do generate strife. So it's a foolish question, right? It's, the most I say avoid them thing. You understand? Avoid it, right? The next thing is the African man is the first man on the planet, and more foolishness. You understand? More foolishness, right? More foolishness. That's why the Most High say in Proverbs. That's why we gotta follow the scriptures. And that little experience teach me that, hey, do what the scriptures say. You understand? Do what the scriptures say. That's why I learned from that. Do what the scriptures say. This is Proverbs chapter 14 verse 7. Go from the presence of a foolish man, when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. And he's a foolish man. You understand? Saying that he could prove by DNA King James a white man. He's a foolish man because he have no clue. You understand? He have no understanding. He's a blind individual, right? He don't even know about the iconoclasm period, because he never answered the question I asked if they ever hear about the iconoclasm, right? When these Edomites were destroying all the image of Jakes, when King James was ruling in England and Scotland and Ireland, the first so-called black man to ever sit on 3 thrones at once, right? But this dummy gonna say he's a white man because what? The lies that were forced upon him, right? The lies, right? Right? You understand? The lies that was forced upon him. So let's go from the presence of these fools, right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 12. The word of the wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow him up. And your own lips gonna swallow you up, because our pride come before destruction, right? So he fit for destruction, and he don't even know it, because with pride blind him. Verse 13, the beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, right? I could prove that King James is a white man by DNA, right? He said the beginning of the beginning of the words of his lips, the beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is mischievous madness, right? It's mischievous madness. You could prove King James a so-called white man by DNA. Mischievous madness. You understand? Madness, right? Verse 14, he said, a fool also is full of words. Yeah, this does say he's an empty vessel. A man cannot tell what shall be and what shall be after him. Who can tell him? You understand? So he's a fool and he's going to be destroyed. So like I say, talk to the younger man like myself, you grew up with a lot of jakes, your childhood school, you grew up in the same neighborhood, went to school together, and you're gonna show them this word, and you can see how the level of ignorance that gonna come out of their mouth, because they don't know, and they're so prideful, they feel that they know something, right? Talking about African people is the first century on the face of the earth. Let me see what the scriptures say, right? Let me see what the scriptures say, because I keep telling them many times that the word Africa is a name of a so-called white man. You understand? That's how ignorant these people is, right? That's how ignorant these people is, right? This is Genesis chapter 5, verse 1. He said, this is the book of the generation, which go back to genealogy, of Adam, in the day that the power created man. In the likeness of powers made he him. Male and female created them, and blessed them, and called their names Adam, in the day when they were created. And he said in the book, this is the book of the generation of Adam, which the word Adam go back to the Hebrew word, right, which is Adama, which is man from the ground. And there was more than one Adam. Right? There were more than one Adam. Right? You understand? So this is when the Most High created man on the earth. They were known as the Adam, the Adamite family. This when the water bring forth abundantly the moving creature. And then the Most High separate them and give them the different inheritance. When you read the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 8 going down, when he separated the sons of Adam, which is the Hebrew word Adama, which means man from the ground. But this dumb nigga gonna look at you and tell you Africa, the African man is the first man on the face of the planet. You understand? Africa's real civilization began. It tell you plain the Fertile Crescent was in the Middle East. Check up the word Fertile Crescent, they can tell you where it was. The Fertile Crescent was in the Middle East, where civilization began. Right? So you're not going much into foolishness with these idiots. You understand? You leave idiots to their own destruction. You understand? You leave them to their own destruction. Right? Right? So, like the word Egypt, right? These clung down to the word Egypt is a Greek word. You understand? Egypt is a Greek word. You understand? Egypt were conquered by Ptolemies, the Greeks. You understand? That's why the name changed from Mizmarim to Egypt, which is a Greek word. They don't know these things. You understand? They don't know these things. And it was two different conquests going in with Egypt. One was in 525 BC, and the next one was in 343 BC. These clowns don't know these things. You understand? But they want to run them out, right? They want to run them out like they know something, and they know nothing, right? Let me get this next precept here. Yeah, let me get this precept here. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 27, verse 13. Right? He said the discourse of fools is irksome. And when you go to the word irksome, it means irritated, annoying. You understand? They are annoying. You understand? They're annoying. That's why the scripture saying, we get to say Ecclesiasticus chapter 22. Ecclesiasticus chapter 22, verse 14. What is heavier than lead? And what is the name thereof but a fool? Sand and salt and a mass of iron is easier to bear than a man without understanding. You understand? So they are fool, right? The discourse are irksome. It's annoying to hear the shit that's coming to their mouth, right? Back in Ecclesiasticus chapter 27, verse 13, the discourse of fools is irksome, and their sports is in the wanton of sins. The wanton of sins. Yeah, they keep transgressing the Most High laws all the time, not knowing they're going to be destroyed in their ignorance. You understand? So you leave them alone. You go from the presence of a fool when thou perceive not the lips of knowledge in them. You leave them alone. Leave them to their own destruction. You understand? This way God do them. This is let me get one more. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 20. Ecclesiasticus chapter 21 verse 14. He said the inner parts of a fool is like a broken vessel, and he will hold no water as long as he liveth. You understand? So they're not gonna hold no knowledge as long as they live it, because they're empty, they're broken, and they are reprobate, they're void. Because the Most High do it to them. The Most High block them from getting this knowledge. Because the scripture says, Wisdom of Solomon 1:4, Wisdom shall not enter into a malicious soul. They are malicious, right? They are malicious. So the Most High going to destroy all you reprobate Israelites. You understand? Talking about your black as Africa, and Africa is the force that be on the face of the earth, and civilization begin in Africa. Nigga, check up the word check up the word fertilize Salakio. Check up Salakio. This word again, Salakio. This word slipping there, yes. Yeah, Salakio, the fertile crescent. This how this goes sometime with, this bastard tongue that we speaking in. Yeah. So check up the word fertile crescent. Right? You niggas are dumb. Right? And y'all gonna be destroyed. Thus said Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And with that, with us was edifying, I want to give our praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who rule at a great millstone, and a blessed salutation to the Akim, to the folk and the earth, to pushing the gospel in sincerity, truth, shalom.